Hey everyone, welcome back to day 4 of 14 lines in 14 days. Today we're checking out the T4 Eastern Suburbs and Illawarra line starting at Bondi Junction and going down to Mortdale, featuring Ahead Matthew Awesome as a collaborator for this video. Sit back, relax and enjoy.
Closing. Please stand clear.
So we'll be starting off by catching this Tangara all the way down to Mortdale, whilst also taking a special first look at Walara station set to open in a couple of years' time, with construction hopefully starting next year. And here is Walara Station, set to open in a couple of years. It was originally supposed to open back in the 70s when the ESR opened, and is located between Edgecliff and Bondi Junction. In the recent few decades, Walara has become a very populated suburb, and the government has since decided to build a new station there. They'll be building it on the original site of the old Walara station, utilising old infrastructure, as I hopefully when they build the station that they'll use some of the old infrastructure from the 70s that they originally had before they decided to cancel the project. And after ducking underground underneath the city, I decided to stop recording as it got really busy on board. However, surprisingly, a lot of people actually got off at Redfern, so I decided to start recording once we exited the ESR at Erskineville. Both Erskineville and St Peters stations have been upgraded and have also been upgraded to allow T4 trains to start stopping at the stations more often. This hasn't yet come into effect, however it is in the plan to have T4 services doing all station services, including Erskineville and St Peters, in a couple of years. I personally think this is a great idea, and I've been wanting this for years. As before, it got quite busy again at Sydenham. However, a lot of people ended up getting off a few stops before Mortdale, kind of around the Hurstville area, as we were all stations between Cogra and Hurstville. Once we got off at Mortdale, I decided to start recording, and also we're about to interview Matthew from Ahead Matthew Awesome. We decided it would be best to come to Mortdale right before the start of peak hour so we could see a whole heap of trains moving out of Mortdale Maintenance Centre, heading towards Hurstville, or even all the way up to Bondi Junction to begin their peak hour services. The T4 line is one of the busiest lines in Sydney during peak hour, with services running every 2 to 3 minutes at most stations. I decided it would now be best to interview Matthew from Ahead Matthew Awesome. However, we didn't have long, as trains were coming every few minutes and we weren't sure when the next one was coming, so we only had about 20 to 30 seconds. I'll be talking to Matthew about Aspect Australia, which is the charity that we're raising money for, and his personal thoughts on the charity.
Hi there everybody, Matthew from Ahead Matthew Awesome here. It's wonderful being here with T-Sets Transport to help support Aspect and all the work that T-Sets Transport is doing with the 14 Lines program, so it's wonderful joining them today here down on the T4.
If you happen to live under a rock, which I would be very sad if you do, and you don't know Ahead Matthew Awesome or Matthew, please check out his YouTube channel, which will be linked at the top right of the screen or in the description below. And don't be surprised if you see him on your ballot paper in a number of years, as I would not be surprised if he runs for Prime Minister of Australia. So we do now have a future Prime Minister on our channel. Matthew and I proceeded to do some more train spotting and had quite an interesting sight, which was this Tangara here on the left that wasn't actually supposed to come in on that platform. However, due to some timetable constraints and also some minor delays on the line, even just a minute or two delay could cause delays to the rest of services coming out of Mortdale Maintenance Centre. This train was diverted through to platform 2 to run on the bi-directional track before turning over at the crossover junction to head towards Hurstville and form a service stopping all stations to Bondi Junction.
The next train to arrive on platform 2 does not stop at this platform. Please stand behind the yellow line. Please stand clear. The next train to arrive goes to Bondi Junction via Walara Creek. First stop Penshurst, then Hurstville, Walleye Creek, Redfern, Central, Town Hall, Martin Place, King's Cross, Edgecliff and Bondi Junction.
After about 25 minutes at Mortdale, Matthew and I decided to board this train here towards the city to then head home.
Walara Creek, Redfern, Central, Town Hall, Martin Place, King's Cross, Edgecliff and Bondi Junction.
As my train was, of course, running 10 minutes late, I had to wait a little while at Walara Creek, so I decided to wait up on platforms 3 and 4 to film some trains going past, and even saw an empty B set going past on the East Hills bound tracks, which I don't often see, however did used to see many years ago when I used to catch the trains past here all the time.
Kiama. First stop Helensburgh, then Thurul, and then all stations to Wollongong. Then the front 4 cars go to first stop Coniston, then Unanderra, Dapto, Albion Park, Oak Flat, Shell Harbour Junction, Minamurra, Bombo, and Kiama. The train on platform 3 goes to Bondi Junction via Central. First stop Tempe, then Sydenham, Redfern, Central, Town Hall, Martin Place, King's Cross, Edgecliff and Bondi Junction. The next train to arrive on platform 4 goes to Cronulla via Hurstville. First stop Hurstville.
And that's a wrap on day 4 of 14 lines in 14 days for the T4, Eastern Suburbs and Illawarra line. Thank you all so much for watching this video today, and I look forward to you seeing tomorrow's episode tomorrow afternoon at 5 PM. Thank you all so much for watching and tuning in to 14 lines in 14 days. Please consider donating to Aspect Australia, which is the charity we're raising money for, in hope to reach $1,000 raised by day 14. We have just 10 days left to go. Let's try and see if we can raise an additional $200 to reach $1,000 raised. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.